Welcome to a Friday fireside chat that's not in front of the fire, but rather the whiteboard, because I want to use this as an illustration here just to kind of map out the thought process here. And as you saw from the title, yeah, there's lots of lies out there as far as the dream is concerned. And I wanted to approach this in a little bit of a different way and then assign some numerical values that really just show how deceiving it is, how misleading it is, how much of a scumbag tactic it really is. In fact, how it's a flat out lie. It is a total lie, and it's a situation where, well, Clay, these people never talk about, let's say the house in the background or the fancy car or some sort of material. They don't. It's just in the background. It's still, they want you to see it, because if they know you see it, then you start to apply that. Big house has to do with trading. Fancy car has to do with trading. Insert blank materialistic item that has a lot of value has to do with trading. So I don't care if they're not sitting there actually saying, hey, buy my course and you're going to get this. No, they're not that stupid. But them, with showing all that stuff, they know that your human mind, the human brain, is going to connect it to and think that that's what's being, implied with one another. But honestly, that's not how it works, and that's just not that's not the reality of the matter. And mathematically, I'm about to show that here in a second. Where did all this come from? Well, I got a comment on YouTube, and since this is a vlog, I guess I can be a little bit more nonchalant here. But we'll just go through it, and you'll see kind of how this person has clearly been brainwashed by these, certain people out there. And you know who I'm talking about. Anybody that's shown anything materialistic, that's fancy. Once more, whether or not they talk about it is not the point. The point is that it's there, so therefore they know your human mind is going to associate that with, oh, okay, so if I learn how to trade from this person, then I can get, you get the point. So I got this right here, and this person says, and take note of their image, which is, a fancy car. So this person is, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with liking fancy cars, but this person clearly likes fancy cars, and now they're kind of throwing this stuff towards them. Way. No offense, but you're not a real trader. You're one of these guys who makes their money from their trading room. I reply back, I don't claim to be a $1 million trader who drives around in exotic cars, but I mean, are you saying these profits aren't quote unquote real? And then I linked them to a past vlog, Fireside Chat, and I think that month's gains were $9,000. That might be a lie, but it was like between $8,000 to $9,000 that I had in for the month. And the question to you becomes, what do you think about that number? If you're thinking, wait, as somebody that, trading is just one revenue stream of others, you're telling me you made $8,000 extra dollars, $9,000 extra dollars. Yes, that's what that is implying. So if you're saying, wow, I'd like to have another 8,000, I'd say you have not been brainwashed. You're actually looking at things in a very realistic manner, because you do realize that, wow, sitting around on a computer, working from home as one single revenue stream, and you were able to add, $8,000 to $9,000, that's actually really cool. That's actually that's neat. I mean, that's a good, like I said, this video really doesn't pertain to you. You can probably turn it off now, but if you want to see just the mathematics and how cool math can be when you blow things out of the water, keep on watching. Now, if you're sitting here saying, like this person, you have been brainwashed. And again, don't worry, this is not me throwing accusations. I'm going to prove mathematically how you've been brainwashed. Can you tell I'm an engineer mathematically? But there's power in math. So this person replies back, remember, they went to that link, they saw that it was like $8,000 to $9,000, and they reply back, I know your profits are real, you just don't make much. Okay, so apparently $8,000 to $9,000 in a month is just, it's not that much. And therefore, because it's not that much, I'm not a real trader. All right, so I'm going to kind of insert some numbers in here. But I think I would be, and it doesn't really matter as you see the numbers unfold. So even if I had to go a little higher, the numbers still wouldn't work out. But I'm very confident that if I said, all right, fine, to this person, let's say that I make $20,000 per month. Is that good enough for you? Hopefully you're saying, wow, $20,000 a month from trade. I would assume most people would think that. That equates to $240 per year. But we got to start to break down those numbers. So almost $250,000 a year in trading. Would that make me a real trader? Would that make, in your mind, would that make a person a real trader if they're making $240,000 per year from just trading? Like I said, I think 95% of the people would say, yeah, no, that's actually really good. $20,000 a month? Whoa. So $240,000 a year. But let's look a little bit deeper here. So, and the funny thing is some people show the results, and I'm not saying those results aren't real, but the people that are showing the results then also have all this fancy stuff as part of their marketing. And it's like, that's great. You assuming those results are real, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, it totally doesn't support what you're trying to imply that those profits could support. So once again, they're kind of exposing the lie within their marketing themselves. I mean, the irony here is really of epic proportions in some of these cases, but $240,000 a year. Well, now you got to remember that you got to pay taxes on it. So we'll say that they get to keep about 80% of that money, and the tax rate would probably be a little bit higher, but there's lots of gray area in taxes, but I think 20% is pretty conservative. So they get to keep 80% of that money because of taxes, and that equates to, can't even hold on to my calculator. So let's see, 240 times 0.8. That means they get to keep $192,000 per year. Still a good solid number. What does that equal per month though? So per month, how much is that equating down to? So let's divide that by 12. And that is $16,000 per month. And that's going to kind of be our golden goose number here. So $16,000 per month is what they have. Again, that's a good solid amount of money. But let's just think now, what is typical of this marketing? What is kind of a typical house that they would show? I mean, just think about the sorts of things that they are implying from a real estate perspective. It's not this. So let me pull up this first image, and as you see on the screen, you're probably thinking that place looks like a dump. Let's look on the inside real quick. Now you're seeing the kitchen. The kitchen, as you're probably saying, okay, this is not the type of environment that they would be showing. I mean, they would be picking something a lot fancier than this. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Now this place is, in fact, I'll put the address here so you can go check it on Zillow if you want to make sure I'm not just making these numbers up. But that house that I showed you, that I think we'd all agree on, would not be part of what they would use in their marketing, sold for $3.5 million. Now, if you want to go look at really fancy ones that they would typically be using, now you're looking at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, over $10 million. But like I said, I want to keep things conservative. Let's just keep things modest here. $3.5 million. Now, get ready for this kicker, and this will come back. So looking at this image, we'll scan down and we'll highlight it on the video, but the property tax in 2017, $57,689 just for property taxes. We'll just call it $57,000. Keep that in mind. Now let's start to let's add some things up here. So here we have the whole premise, and we have $16,000 to work with. Now, obviously, making $240,000 a year, you're not going to go and buy that home in cash. But let's make some assumptions here, and let's say that you actually are able to put down 20%. So you put down 20% on it. You can avoid the PMI insurance, all that good stuff. But you put down 20%, so that just means you still need 80% of that loan. So the question now becomes, well, what is the mortgage payment on that going to be? As you see on the screen right now, you can see, again, the amount is $2.8 million because I'm assuming that they put down 20%. And the monthly payment comes to $12,967. Okay, so as you just saw, we got to subtract out $12,967. Oh, but wait. If you've ever owned a home, or if you haven't owned a home, that's just, principal and interest. You have to pay property taxes on it every month. What did we say that was? So let's do our property tax calculation, $57,000 divided by 12. And awesome. So now this person is also paying $4,750 in property taxes. But wait, there's more. If you're going to own a home, or if you need some sort of insurance, right? And I don't know. Let's keep this conservative. Let's just say it's like $200 a month for a $1 million house. So there's another $200 right there, just in simply insurance. We haven't talked about anything else. But you know the other typical thing that they're showing, the fancy car, right? And I'm going to keep this very conservative. Let's just go with a $100,000 car. Again, we'll assume that I can put 20% down. So that means the loan would be $80,000. So now on the screen, you see just the premise of the loan here, $80,000, and the monthly payment down at the bottom, $1,441. And remember, this is kind of only for a $100,000 car. You see these cars are driving around, they're a lot more than that. But like I said, I'm trying to keep things quite modest. And there's only one, right? Sometimes you have like multiple ones. It's just goodness. But we'll assume one, and it's a modest one at $100,000. But still, that isn't, subtracting out another $1,400. Now, I have not done this, but let's go through this real quick. So $16,000 minus $12,967 minus $4,750 for taxes. Oh, now we're at negative cash flow on the month. But we still got to subtract out the $200 for insurance and then the $1,400 for the car payment. And keep in mind, that doesn't include car insurance. That doesn't include anything like that. We're at, right now, after all this is said and done, negative, we'll just call it $3,000. Meaning we haven't even talked about utilities, power, gas, electric, water, to keep this big old house going. We haven't talked about food. We haven't talked about usually the fancy clothes they're wearing. We haven't talked about that Rolex that they're usually doing. We haven't talked about just normal living expenses, right? Just normal stuff that you have to spend money on regardless. And they're already in the hole right here. And remember, this was all making $20,000 a month. $20,000 a month. And keep in mind the picture of that house. That thing was not exactly marketing material in terms of, hey, money, money, money. Yet even with that, they're at negative $3,000. So what are they doing? Well, they're selling a dream that is totally a lie. Now, if they were to sit there and say, hey, come trade and then sell a service like I do. Hey, come trade and sell this like I do. Hey, come trade and run a business where I tell you that you can have all this stuff by trading, then okay, that's fine. That's totally honest. They're being transparent in the sense of, yeah, trading is not going to get you the lifestyle. It's not going to get you the dream. It's not going to get you all these material, items. Again, they don't necessarily say it's going to get that to you, but what are they implying? And they're not telling you that part. The numbers just don't work out. So please realize that those people that are implying all that are making their money to do that. And I'm not saying this is all fake. This could all be real. They may own all that stuff, but they're paying for it by selling you the dream that you can get it by simply trading, which is a massive lie. It's a massive contradiction. But Clay, you sell stuff. Yes, I realize that. But did you just listen to the video I did? Nowhere in my marketing do you see any sort of big houses, fancy cars, jewelry, exotic vacations. There is nothing there. And there is a reason for that because, well, I mean, that's not what, could you be some sort of epic trader that makes millions upon millions of dollars per year? Probably not, especially when you look at what these people are penny stocks, for example. You are not going to make multiple millions of dollars per year trading penny stocks. Now, sure, you could have bought Bitcoin and, lucked out with that bubble. But for the vast majority, what they're implying is just not going to happen. And that's not my opinion. That's mathematical opinion based on just real life data out there. You have the address of that Zillow home. If you think I'm making that number up, go search Zillow for it. You have the address and you'll see exactly what I mean. So wake up to the fact that trading is great in the sense of an additional stream of revenue, a great way to bring in some more money to diversify your income streams. But if you think that trading is going to get you the lifestyle, the items, and all these things that a lot of these people portray, and you know exactly who I'm talking about, the math doesn't back it up. So just keep that in mind and don't let yourself get brainwashed like the person that kind of started all this apparently was, because even $20,000 a month, still not even close to being able to support that house that wasn't that good and a modest $100,000 car among much else. So keep things grounded in reality. If you are out there trading alone currently and maybe are in the market looking for a community to join to assist you in your trading or to just help you, give you another set of eyeballs, then I do have a private trading community where you can trade alongside me and other experienced traders. So what you see popping up on the screen right now is both an information link. So if you click on the inner circle one, that is going to take you to the page where I explain all the details of what exactly come with the community, both the chat room and the newsletter. And then the other image that has popped up is a behind the scenes tour where you can see exactly what is going to be contained within the community. I take you through, like I said, a behind the scenes tour of everything, and that way you'll know precisely what you are getting when you join. So definitely check that stuff out if you are interested and thinking about wanting to join a community, and let me know if you have any questions.